Oh my goodness. Good morning. How's everybody? I got caught out there in all that wonderful energy and I looked up and it was time to be here. Welcome to you all. For those of you who don't know, but I think everybody in this room does know, I am Linda Gillespie, licensed Unity teacher, pastoral and education associate. So happy to be here with you this morning. Thank you for being here. We'll let everybody get situated to some degree, and then we'll open this in prayer. If you would join me, please. If you would just close your outer eyes if that's comfortable. Take 3 really deep breaths. Moving us into that space where we know that we truly are one. One with all that is. One with one another. One with God. What a gift, what a joy it is to be aware of that and to acknowledge that presence that is always there. For we can never be anywhere that God is not. And we say, thank you, God. Thank you, God, for that awareness. So it is, and so we let it be.
Thank you, Linda. Well, it really is very good to see all of you. And so as we begin, I invite you to take your phone, your smartwatch, anything that's going to potentially make a sound, put it on vibrate or just turn it off. They will get their messages as we get ours. Unity is a spiritual community that fosters personal transformation for healing, for wholeness, and for an intimate connection with the divine. We do this through affirmative prayer and meditation that opens us to realize our oneness with God. Now we honor the light that lives in all religious and spiritual traditions, for the light that's shining through every stained glass window, through every mosque dome, through every cathedral, through every chapel, through every church tent is the very same light shining in us. And we call that light God. Now we know that what we experience is based on what we believe, what we say. But when we say what we believe with conviction, or what I like to say with gusto, it ignites a powerful force in the universe. So let's say this great truth with gusto together. There is only one presence, one power, active in my life and in the universe. God, the good, omnipotent. And so it is. Do we have any first-time visitors with us this morning? If so, if you'd stand up, I'd like to know your name. What brought you here today? I guess we're all family, and I love that. So we are live streaming this service. Right up there, that camera, we can turn around, give them a wave, a shaka, hello. We're just welcoming you to our service, and we're so grateful you are here with us. Our online congregation, viewers are growing and growing. People can pick it up anywhere in the world. And you're blessed because you're right here with us. Now I'd like to invite up board member and the wonderful Tom Rex to lead us in the daily word. Thank you, Tom.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I shared early service. One of the things that was kind of interesting this week is that I knew that I'd be speaking today and introducing the daily word. And Jody this year, as a Christmas present, gave me the daily word. So I've been and bringing this back into my morning spiritual practice, and I really, really have enjoyed it. But the other thing is, so Christopher, the other thing that was interesting is I got to know what I was going to talk about as far as reading the daily word today, so I got a chance for 3 or 4 days to I love to ponder thoughts. So here's the part that's kind of interesting. So it's faith filled with positive expectations, I expect only good, is the thing. We'll say it in a minute. But the part that I found kind of interesting is the question, do you or do I expect only good? So let's hear what Eric Butterworth has to say. He writes in Spiritual Economics, you do not receive what you want. You do not receive what you pray for, not even what you say you have faith in. You will always receive what you actually expect. I found that kind of interesting that he commented that expect was a major part of this. Each morning, even when the clouds cover the sky, I expect the sun to rise. When I drift off to sleep, I expect to awaken refreshed. When I express the desires of my heart in prayer, are my expectations limited or do I expect only good? And he goes on to say, as I pray, if I discover a thought of lack or limitation, I remember that I am a living expression of God, heir to all that God is. I release the limiting thought gently, and without judgment, I let it go. Freed from thoughts of limitation, I expect only good, and my good comes to me. So as I ask you to say this affirmation, I'd like you to put in front of filled with positive, I am. So together, please. I am filled with positive expectations. I expect only good.
Yeah.
And our vision for this ministry, and I hope in your own life, is this. So if we'll say this together. A world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening.
And if it's our expectation to achieve this vision, it's going to be done by doing our mission. Together? Acknowledging victory within, we welcome and empower all with fellowship, education, and service for our community and the world.
And today's core value, again, I got to ponder this one. I love it. But the part that's interesting, in the art world, in January, I have to begin to commit to all the art shows through the summer and even to begin booking the art shows that are in Park City, Steamboat Springs, Aspen. Some of the ones are local. So I found this kind of fascinating this year in January when it's kind of like, wow, this is sort of the worst time to have to commit to all these art shows because there's nothing coming in. I've got to commit to a booth show, pay for the booth show, and even begin to start creating the artwork for the art show before I've even gone to the event. And so the part I'm loving about my individual shared spiritual awakening is how much I've now embraced my higher power. I myself say God is universe and spirit, but you can fill in the blank to whatever, but I like the idea every morning when I read this as part of my own core values is if we'll read this together, my unity with God and this higher power to help me step out in faith and take those risks and walking in faith. So if we'll stay this together, please. In my unity with God, all things are possible. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tom. And this is our opportunity to sing our congregational song, I Am Free, I Am Unlimited. Please stand if you're able and let's sing out.
I am free, I am unlimited. There are no chains that bind me. I am a free, I am unlimited. Right now, right now. I am free, I am unlimited. There are no chains that bind me. I am a free, I am unlimited. Right now, right now. You are free, you are unlimited. There are no chains that bind you. You are free, you are unlimited. Right now, right now. You are chains that bind us. We are free, we are unlimited. Right now, right now. We are free, we are unlimited. There are no chains that bind us. We are free, we are unlimited. Right now, right now.
Yes. So welcome to this Sunday service. Linda and I have had so much fun preparing for this service because we are right on the threshold of inviting in a whole new platform of how we do ministry. And our talk title is Building on Spirit Groups.
And I am so excited. I have been holding this vision for 5 years because I have seen what is possible in small group ministry. And we started them out about 5 or 6 years ago and had a few groups that did not make, so to speak. We had one that met for about 2 years out in Canyon Lake. But for the most part, it just kind of fell away. And that was because the program that Mindy Audlin had developed was in its infancy. We've got the grown-up version, and we're ready now. And I am so excited.
It's so true. So, Spirit Groups, as Linda just said, was developed by Mindy Audlin. She's a licensed Unity teacher. She was the one that founded Unity of Wimberley. Yeah. And she's collected so much information and brought this to Unity churches and Center for Spiritual Living, religious science communities. There's about 40 churches who are actively doing spirit groups ongoing in their ministries. And we're about to start that process. We've got some videos to help bring on the light of how we're going to be building on spirit groups. Let's start.
So basically, what happened is there are people who meet us now who think that these people have been friends forever. In October is when we actually launched. The bulk of these people didn't even know each other in our congregation. And now they go hang out without me. That's the testimony. Right, it's a little sad, but I also feel like I did my work, right? To empower them to build the connections that aren't just directly with the leader, with the minister, but with each other. More than last year, I believe that what is happening here is the future of the New Thought movement.
Small group ministry is the future of ministry. Because as we know, if church isn't going to change, it's going to become extinct. And part of the change that's rippling through every congregation of any faith is the bringing into their community small group ministries, which we're bringing in spirit groups.
And I can't contain my excitement about it because this is how it grows. I had the opportunity this last Christmas season, for the first time in 25 years, was present at a Methodist candle lighting service at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, along with 3,000 to 4,000 other people. And during that service, while it was about the celebration of the birth of Christ and the candle lighting and the light in the world and everything that we know it is, they kept talking about harvest groups. Harvest groups. If you're not a member of a harvest group, join one today. And that is how these mega churches have become just that, mega churches. And that service was one of 4 that they had that day.
Beautiful.
I have been at the church I'm at for over 28 years. I was the administrator for 10 of those years. I've been the spiritual leader for over 10 of those years. And the big thing has always been, connection and how do we create a foundation that's not going to be the grow and then the shrink and the grow and the shrink. And for the first time, I see a program here with small groups that is going to help to finally create that foundation that I think we're all searching for, that does create connection in our ministries, but it also helps to create that foundation for generations to come.
An important aspect of spirit groups, or frankly any small group, is the aspect of coming together and making that connection. Now we know that 12-step programs all over the world know the value of coming together in like mind and holding support and connection. It's how we educate our youth is a small group in a classroom. We love to be in a tribe. And when we're feeling connected and like we belong, and we're of like mind, we begin to explore the depths of our own truth. And this is why it's so valuable.
And it's such a powerful way for us to grow spiritually. And this is an opportunity that no one should miss.
Oftentimes people talk about how can the ministry inspire lives and transform in very practical ways, and that's a great vision, but we don't have the practical tools to do it. And my experience with spirit groups is that it provides the vehicle to transform lives in 5 different ways. What I appreciate is the 5 C's that are at the core of spirit groups. The first is communion. It has helped me connect with God, my spirit, my source, to be able to look at how am I connecting with others. That's kind of the connection here. How am I doing that with compassion? Fourthly, being able to look at how am I now creating a community, and from that, what is the challenge? Another final C. And the spirit groups put all these principles together in very tangible ways so that people can share both their inner and outer journey together of transformation, and the spirit groups training provides those practical tools to do that.
Beautiful. And there's nothing more valuable than a good tool, yes? And having the right tool to do the job is what we seek for whenever we do anything. And spirit groups offers these tools, the 5 C's. The first one is communion. Group members grow in their practice of finding God in themselves, in others, and in their life circumstances. Each meeting begins with prayer, meditation, or a centering exercise.
And as we all know, Unity was founded on prayer. Prayer and meditation is the core of who we are as Unity. And this is the way we begin with everything that we do. The first thing we did, when we came in here this morning, we prayed. And that's how we grow as we become more centered in the truth of who we are.
And on this spiritual path, the more we can awaken to our connection with that infinite source of being, whether you call it God, goddess, source, being. One of my favorites is cosmic waitress. And when I give an order to the cosmic waitress, you bet it's served, because the cosmic waitress is there to serve. And that's we can call God anything you want. There's no name you can give God that isn't, God's much bigger than any name we have. And communion is that opportunity to come together, hold that principle of knowing and that truth, and together we grow spiritually.
Connection. Group members, regardless of the group's focus, engage each other in a deep, meaningful manner. That is so powerful. The thing that really speaks to me, well, one of the things that really speaks to me about spirit groups is this very thing, this connection. I know many of you sitting out there this morning, but I don't know you here. And spirit groups gives us the opportunity to get to know you better, to get to know one another better, so that we can be connected at a much deeper, meaningful level.
One story about this that's true is way a long time ago in Maui. Owen and I were living in this gorgeous home in Maui Meadows, about 500 feet above sea level, spectacular view. Our next door neighbors invited us to join them for a home circle, a mastermind group, a study group. And we decided, let's do it. And we did that, and then we did another one. And today, the people who are part of that circle are our absolute best friends on Maui. And they were all members of a church, Unity Church, which we didn't know anything about. And that was our entree. It was our way of finding out about this community. And little did I know that just going to that small group ministry and finding deep connection with that circle of people, that I would stand before you as a Unity minister. So you just never know what God's going to do with you when you say yes to God. And that's a good connection.
Yes, it is.
Compassion. Group members throughout the entire system proactively seek to support and care for each other. No one falls through the cracks. As we know, life happens. And sometimes things in life are really challenging. Sometimes it can be hard or painful or difficult. Sometimes things are just normal, which is kind of a miracle in and of itself. But we also have those highs and the places of bliss. In a group, all of us aren't going to be crazy on the same day.
Thank goodness.
So we come as we are, and we're supported by each other because it's a proactive, important part of spirit groups to be there as a support for each other.
There are so many stories that Mindy has shared in trainers training about this wonderful piece of compassion. There are stories about members of a spirit group having an emergency in their home and having a spirit group member come to support them, and that member being there before the first responders arrived. That's how that works. We're there physically to support one another, but also to hold the high watch when we know one another at the core of our being.
And part of the reason why no one falls from the cracks is it's totally fine and open to show up at a group just as you are. Bleeding and on fire, or ready to receive and give a whole bunch of love. Whatever it is, we show up and we're embraced just as we are.
Community. All groups are in service to the broader community by taking on some meaningful service project, either within or beyond the church community. That's one of the things that I have really connected with in our pilot group. Katie Rydell found a service project for us to package and perishable goods and distribute them through the food bank every other Friday at the Westside Community Center, and I wouldn't miss it. Friday morning, Katie and I were there, and it was drizzling, and it was wet, and it was wonderful. It was wonderful because we had the opportunity to put together foodstuffs for these families that need that kind of thing. And it not only nourishes them physically, but it also nourishes them spiritually because of the energy that we put into that whole process of just packaging up cans of pork. I didn't know they canned pork, but they do. So this is another way to serve, and each group will find or come up with a service project, whether it's here in the church or beyond the walls of this church.
And as we know that when we give, especially when we give from our joy, give from our gift, it's easy for us to give our gift because it comes from our overflow. We never want to be in a position where we're giving blood every single day. When we give blood every day, we get a little anemic. And so it's important for us to give from that, and the group consciousness will come up with something they can do together to be of service. It's really beautiful. And the fifth C is challenge. All group members seek to awaken their emotional and spiritual maturity through discussion, study, authentic action, and shadow integration. Now, we may think that being challenged by the world is the biggest challenge. No. Our biggest challenge is facing our own niggles, our own resistance, our own awakening. And as we, as a group, acknowledge our process of awakening to our emotional and spiritual maturity, then we're standing on our truth. And no one knows your truth like you. And in the group situation, we have the opportunity to deepen our knowing. I want to know myself as much as I can. And the only way I can know myself as much as I can is by opening and awakening to my connection with the divine, which is eternal. So there's a lot of work to do.
And we find that through the discussion and the study, we are challenged to look deeper and to see where that growing edge is for us. And I find that it is through this process that I learn more about me and more about you. And I so appreciate that opportunity to grow.
Beautiful. So these are the tools: communion, connection, compassion, community, and challenge. And as we continue on this process of offering various spirit groups that you'll offer, there might be a spirit group on knitting. There's a spirit group of one church that's a running group. There could be a single mothers group. There could be a teen group. There could be anything at all as long as they use these components of these 5 C's, because that's what makes a spirit group. And we will have some offerings that you can sign up for today for Infinite Connections, which is a good primer basis of what is a spirit group. And we also have some spiritual education enrichment classes and the new member orientation. All will be incorporating these tools.
It's going to give them a personal way to connect, to be intentional with their vision of who and what they are, what they've come here to be. It's going to allow them to do it with a group of like-minded people, which is such a sense of connection and intimacy and freedom to be okay within this group that holds us. Yes, I'm very much for spirit groups and small groups.
I'm passionate about it, and I know that if you step into and commit to this, you will find a measure of deep growth and connection.
I would recommend spirit groups, and because I see this as a way that it's going to grow our unity movement exponentially. It seems to be the missing piece of how we connect and serve and minister to one another. One person can't do it all, and so this way, individuals get to know what's going on in their own group, they get to care for each other, they get to connect with one another, and they get to meet their needs as far as life happenings, circumstances, whatever that is, that they do that for one another, and then they can let the ministry and the minister and the chaplains know. And so in that way, we really do connect and grow deeper in our unity teachings of transforming lives.
This is, we have talked in unity for years about unity being the best kept secret in the world. If it's that wonderful and we know that it is, why is it a secret? Mm-hmm. And this vehicle, this small group vehicle, is a way to get our principles out into the universe and come out of the closet, so to speak. It's just like Gary and Owen experienced on Maui. They came into this group knowing nothing about unity. And look what happened. We never know. We absolutely never know. When we show up and do what is ours to do in these small groups, lives are changed. Our life is changed.
When I walked into the Unity Church, I was on the edge of just going away. And what small groups allows us to do is to connect at a level that really and truly allows us to grow. Those of you that have gone into SEE and LUTs and ministerial school, you know about having those deep connections that allow you to be who you really are here to be. And I never got that. I never got that from an hour on Sunday mornings. And the ministers in here, we can't do it. We can tell them where the water is, but we can't, make them drink. We can't do any of those things. This is what helps people keep their life going. That's the reason I'm an evangelical about unity, is that this saved my life. And there are too damn many people who don't get their lives saved because they don't know about us, or they just walk into the church and the music didn't satisfy them. But if they can go into a small group, they will change, and it will save them. It will save them.
So this is where we are. We're at this precipice of embracing spirit groups in our community and inspiring infinite connection. And I love that we have this opportunity, and as we do this now, let's take a moment and go into meditation. And as we set down anything in our hands, we may close the outer eyes and we allow the Unity singers to help bring us into the meditative moment in music.
Be still, go deep. What you sow is what you reap. Be here now, where one is known, where life's fountain always flows. Be still, be still, be still, and know. Be still, be still, be still, and know. Om Ganapatiye Namaha. 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 Be still. Go deep. What you sow is what you reap. Be here now. The one is known, where life's fountain always flows. Be still, be still, be still, and know. Be still, be still, be still.
Breathing easily. Relaxing and settling to this now moment. We open our heart or identify the center of your being and breathe into that center. And peace, be still. As we heard in the daily word, we can receive by what we expect. And so if we expect peace, if we expect unity, we can take this moment and open our center to our divine nature. And so let's breathe easy. And you might ask, what do I expect? As we now enter the silence. As we awaken to our unity with God, we draw from and realize deeper truth. So let's bring whatever we've received in this meditation to be the basis of how we live our life this day. And so as we come back into presencing ourselves to this room, we might wiggle our toes and wiggle our fingers, roll our head, roll our shoulders. When we're ready, we open our eyes, and then collectively we'll say our affirmation for today's talk. Together, as I open myself to infinite connection, I listen to others with love and respect. And so it is. And so we have this opportunity to enjoy the music with the Unity Singers, this wonderful song by Mavis Staples, Staying with the Spirit.
Well, I woke up this morning with my mind staying on the Spirit. Well, I woke up this morning with my mind staying on the Lord. Well, I woke up this morning with my mind staying on the Spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Well, I'm singing and I'm praying with my mind staying on the Spirit. Well, I'm singing and I'm praying with my mind staying on the Lord. Yes, I'm singing and I'm praying with my mind staying on the Spirit. Well, I'm walking and I'm talking with my mind, staying on the Spirit. Yeah, I'm walking and I'm talking with my mind, staying on the Lord. Yes, I'm walking and I'm talking with my mind, staying on the Spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Well, I'm singing and I'm praying with my mind, staying on the Spirit. Singing and I'm praying with my mind, staying on the Lord. Yes, I'm singing and I'm praying with my mind, staying on the Spirit. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah,
Beautiful. Thank you so much. We've come to this moment in the service that I always appreciate an opportunity to give. And so I would like you to do is set on your heart what you intend to give right now. It could be in the form of a tithe or a love offering. It could be the form of gratitude or a prayer. Whatever that is, set it on your heart as we say this offering blessing together. Divine love now fulfills my every good desire. I rejoice in my happy, prosperous life right now. And so as we do our walk of abundance, we do it by coming forward. We put our card, I'm an electronic giver, our tithe, our love offering, our prayer, our gratitude, our joy. We might even drop in the bowl our forgiveness, whatever it is, right into the shiny copper bowl. And then from the wooden bowl, we take an affirmation for ourselves, for a loved one. Let's celebrate with the walk of abundance.
Josie, if you would please. Would you join with me in blessing these gifts that come from grateful hands and hearts into this ministry, knowing that they will be multiplied and sent out to further the work of this ministry. And we are grateful. Thank you, God. And for the prayers in this prayer box, they represent the faith and the trust, knowing that in the asking, the answer is there. The answer is always there, and it is on its way. And we just say, thank you, God, for answered prayer. So it is. Amen. Thank you.
Well, for the announcement, I want to acknowledge a person who has given great love and dedication to a role which she's resigned from it. And this is Kathy Overcamp. She's been our community life coordinator. Let's give her our love.
And again, Kathy has another opportunity. She's just always doing something wonderful. And this is the Comal County Shelter. We are serving the evening of February the 2nd to the morning of February the 9th. Kathy will be out in the foyer after the service to answer any questions you have about how you can help with that.
Beautiful. It's an opportunity to serve. For our Spirit Group sign-ups today, we have 6 homes who are sharing this sort of basic thing of infinite connections is what it's called, and it's really what is a Spirit Group as we do those 5 C's. And so there are tables with those homes who are offering infinite connections.
And there are also, Reverend Gary will be doing spiritual education and enrichment, Bible interpretation, Acts through Revelations on Monday night. And that sign-up is out there in the foyer as well.
Also, Kathy Overcamp is going to be leading a spiritual education enrichment elective, The Power of 8, a very powerful book, and she's got a place out there where you can join that time.
And then I will be doing a path home along with Reverend Gary on Sundays after this service for those of you who have been considering coming into membership of this ministry, and that will be the new member orientation.
Also, we have an opportunity tomorrow morning. I hope you join me. I will be dressed with a lot of layers. You may not even recognize me, but I'll be in there. I'll look a little South Park-ish because I've got a really big parka. But if you see me standing like this and I'm dressed all in black, it's me. So we're going to meet across the street from the fire station on South Castile Street. It's right there by the Civic Center. Let's meet at 9 o'clock. Now, if you don't want to walk, they're opening the Civic Center auditorium at 9 o'clock so you can go in and sit down. The program will be there. The walk, or what they're calling a parade, will be from Civic Center up Seguin to the circle, around the circle. There'll be some music there at the circle, and then back to the Civic Center. So I hope you join me. We had a wonderful time last year. And then I'll talk on this one as well. The update for our prudent reserve. We came into a situation where payroll checks and some bills were not going to clear. So the board drew $3,000 from our prudent reserve. And as stated in that policy, we have to also say when we intend to refund that prudent reserve back with that money. And we've
Yeah.
held the vision that on or before April 13th, that $3,000 will be back in the Prudent Reserve. This is what we have the Prudent Reserve for, to take care of business as we need it.
And next Sunday, the 26th, we will have the celebration of purposeful giving cards. I think most of you received your card and brochure either in the mail or you picked them up earlier in the foyer. If not, there are cards and brochures on the welcome table, and we will be bringing those back in celebration next Sunday.
Yeah. And there is this opportunity. Joshua Ignacio, he was here last year. He was very warmly received. He's quite a grounded spiritual being. He's going to offer Sound Alchemy in the Divine Blueprint, Saturday, February 15th. So you might do this for Valentine's Day at 10 a.m. And he'll offer a talk, and then he'll give some private sessions. He's quite wonderful.
Mm-hmm. And then every morning at 8 o'clock, we have a conference prayer call to just support and uplift the financial aspect of this ministry. The number is there. It's also on your bulletin, and the prayer is printed in your bulletin as well. You are all welcome to join us at 8 o'clock. And if not, just share that prayer here in your heart and hold it for the better aspect of this church.
Absolutely. And we have a prayer chaplain who is...
right there. Cheryl.
There, Cheryl. I knew you were here. She'll come up to one of the front pews here, and anything that's on your heart, it could be an expectation of great good, it could be a challenge you're facing, she will hold the high watch for you. We also have our prayer box, which is right outside of the Sacred Corner bookstore. Fill out a prayer request form that are in front of the box or in the pew racks. Drop it into that box. They're held confidentially and they're never read through in the box. We just hold them in God, and we package them up and send them to Silent Unity, where they're continued to pray over. Unity was founded in prayer, and we know prayer works.
And all of the details of our activities and events are in your bulletin, so take it home with you and you'll have it there. Put it on the refrigerator so you don't miss anything.
Beautiful. And now we have this opportunity to receive this music, I Can Feel My Life by Ron Bretsky.
What I got, I just need to find it. It's covered up, all the things I think I need. Who am I? Child of love, I just need to live it, to open up, to breathe it in, to let it flow. I can feel my what I've got. I just need to be it. So open up, breathe it in, let it flow. I can feel my life. I can feel my life. I can feel my life. Love, when I let love fill my life. When I let you fill my life. When I let love fill my life. When I let you fill my life. I am divine love. I am divine love. I am divine. We are divine love.
Good morning, everybody. As the